did themselves no favors when it came to hiring a coach and a GM, because a coach is going to be very leery not to have at least a say over the 53, and a GM candidate, if you're going to hire a director of player personnel from another team, but yet he's not going to have control over the 53-man roster as a general manager, that is considered a lateral move, which means that teams do not have to grant you position or permission to interview their guys for that position. So you handcuffed yourself. Mm-hmm. Now you've got to look at senior scouts. Now you've got to look at directors of pro personnel. Rather than looking for that next hot new GM, you're looking for a director of pro personnel. So you put yourself behind the 8 ball even more. You didn't have an attractive offer because your roster's in shambles as it is. But now you look at it and you go, holy crap, we're not going to be able to interview these guys because we're not going to get permission to do it.
No.
This general manager search it probably take till the combine or later.
Oh, yeah.
Because
it almost doesn't matter.
It's it's backwards. They're doing it the wrong way.
Matt, it just seems like Jamie Haslam is running this like a real convoluted, jumbled business structure, like huge corporation with so many layers of management that by the time you get to the top, you say, well, who really does what? Why are there so many? Like, the NFL can be so simple. General manager, head coach, general overseer man, John Elway type, whatever, and owner. And that's it. Simple. Boom. Not the owner's wife, not a lawyer, not a baseball analytics guy, not a faux GM who's really a senior scout, and then the head coach has some input. And by the end of it, you just think, how is any decision going to be made? Like, it's baffling. That's why the GM search is of very little interest to me, because it's not going to be anybody of note. It's not even really going to matter because Sashi Brown is going to have, with that buzzword, collaboration. That'll be trending in Brownstown, a hashtag collaboration once the season starts, to make decisions on everything. Like, it just doesn't seem interesting. So I really think the head coach is going to end up being, if it's out of the list we mentioned, the one or two left out who did not get an offer, who really, really want to cash in and be a head coach this year. Not somebody who can wait. Like Hugh Jackson could wait a year. Matt Patricia could wait a year. Patriots are going to be good. See what's up next. But if somebody wants to be one now and does have no other offers, that's the type of guy the Browns are going to get.
Yeah, it's absolutely the type of guy that the Browns are going to get. And that's the scary part, is that we feel like we're starting from scratch all over again, because we basically are.
Yeah.
And we're going to have to get another unproven guy in here to end up helping make very important decisions for a multi-billion-dollar organization, and they just don't get it.
No.
And they're going to have, if the Browns turn this around with these two hires, it will be by pure luck and happenstance in some regards. Because, and I'm not going to say it's all going to be luck, but finding the right pieces to put on the chessboard is going to be a complete. They're going to have to luck out and hit lightning in a bottle to get the right combination in there, because you're not going to get a high-level coach. You can't get high-level personnel guys because they essentially are not allowed to interview for your position because it's not a step up for them. It's going to be really interesting over the next few months to see how this thing comes together and what type of plan they have formulated for the draft. Well,
the Browns are due for some luck, Matt. They are due for some luck. We're also due to hear from our listeners in the Bar Cup. At Andy MC81, at Matt Florjancic. Let's get to, let's get to a tweet here. Comes from at KA Colvin60. Says, here we are again having this conversation of the two choices. I like Patriots, Patricia, passion, good training. And that's where it comes into, you're learning under the best, Matt, that we talked about in Bill Belichick. Patricia, he's got that big old grizzled beard. Would be a different look for a head coach if he keeps it like that. But the training aspect, how that converts to doing it on your own without having Bill to lean on, has not worked. And that's where my concern is with Patricia.
here's the thing that leads me to believe he's a better candidate than what people thought. And initially, he was not on the Browns shortlist. He was a recommendation from the search firm. But you look at the Browns, what they've done right now, they hired Sashi Brown to be the executive of football operations, Harvard-educated, very intelligent attorney from the D.C. area. Paul DePodesta, very intelligent man. Matt Patricia, what is he in his previous life or a previous career before football? He had an engineering degree.
Really?
He immediately walks into any room and is among the top 3 guys of intelligence.
Wow.
When it comes to it, he's an engineering guy, but he loved football. So he gave up on engineering and became a football coach, and a low-level one with the Patriots, and he's risen all the way up to being a DC. And I tell you what, that will end up playing a part in this before it's all said and done.
That's
the Browns will give that credence more so than you'd think, because he is one of the smartest guys in the room, in any room that he walks into.
So Matt Patricia can build me a bridge, but can he build me a football team, Matt? Can he build us a football team? That we'll have to see if he's a choice for the Browns. So what we'll do, we'll continue the coaching search. We'll be back next Monday. We'll also, after this, the championship bowl game today between Alabama and Clemson, we'll start to get into some quarterback draft options. We'll start to dig in a little bit and look at some of these prospects as we lead up to the NFL scouting combine, which is coming up in February. Great stuff as always, Matt.
Yeah, thanks, Andy. You too. Good talking with you. Glad to have you back, and we'll talk to you again next week.
Absolutely. All right, so for Matt Florjancic, our Cleveland Browns insider from WKYC Sports in Cleveland, I'm Andy McNamara. Follow us on Twitter at AndyMC81, at Matt Florjancic. You've been listening to The Doghouse, your inside look at the Cleveland Browns.